What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Notion MTL. Well, would you look at that? I'm back in the office again. Yes, this is a temporary measure because during the day the shop has been so crazy I am not getting anything done for videos, so I'm here back at the office and we're going to do a little review today of this little guy right here, the Notion MTL by Tenacious TX Vapes and Timesvape, with a big huge shout out and thank you going to Stan for sending this one my way for the purpose of making this video. Never in my life I thought I would be vaping an 18350 mod, let alone in 2019, but here we are, the Notion MTL. And I gotta say, this thing for its size and compactness, it is absolutely wonderful. So this thing's available in 3 different finishes, stainless, brass, and copper, and it's gonna run you about 45 bucks on lucidrda.com. And if you get the brass or copper variant like I have here, I would highly recommend you pick up some of these swipe wipes. They are excellent for your daily polishing needs. And yes, you're going to be polishing this thing all the time if you get brass or copper because, well, you want your mods to look nice. I have used my rags a lot, as you can see there. Thank you very much, Stan, for sending those along as well. You can find all this stuff on lucidrda.com. If you want to find a link to that, you can find it on my website. Link to that will be right down there in the description below. But let's go down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so here's the Notion MTL in its original box. As you can see, lovely packaging with this one here, another Stan designed box. I love it. I love the color scheme and everything about it. We've got the Notion MTL logo and 18350 and 2350 right there. Stan's logo on this side right there, and Timesvape's logo and social media information right there for you guys if you want to follow them. Nice little warning right here on the side. Make sure you install your atomizer before your battery, etc., etc. We've got the standard stuff on the back of the box as well. What's inside the box? We've got some specs and some warnings, and we've got a UPC and scratch and check right there. So let's take a look at what we get inside the box. And we have a user manual. Not that you really need a user manual with this thing. It is fold out and tiny printing, but there is some color graphics, so I guess it kind of neutralizes it right there, so I'm not going to complain too much. Not that you really need a manual for a mechanical mod anyways, other than to just warn people not to be stupid and blow themselves up. But there we go, we have the Notion MTL, and mine already has quite a few fingerprints on it, if you couldn't tell right there. And we have a beauty ring, so it comes with 2 beauty rings, a 22mm and a 24mm, and that is going to make your atomizers sit nice and flush on there. So there you go, that's what's inside the box. So there's not too much to talk about when it comes to specs for this guy here. It takes an 18350 or 2350 battery. It has a constant contact switch, which is the same threading as the Dreamer switch, and they are interchangeable. It's got a nice Notion logo right here at the base of it, and some nice curves to it as well. We've got some venting holes up here at the top right there, and another one on the other side. As you can see, mine is a complete fingerprint magnet, and I really do hope Stan plans on bringing out some aluminum versions for those of you that don't like stainless, brass, or copper. As you can see right here at the top, it says not recommended for use under 1 ohm with a hybrid 510 connection and Stan's logo right there. You get 2 beauty rings in the box, a 22mm and a 24mm, and they just thread off like this. It's just that easy to change them out. Threads on this thing are absolutely buttery smooth and feel really, really nice. And overall build quality on this thing is impeccable, I must say. Very, very nice little stylish, tiny little mod, and it's pretty easy to set up as well. So first thing you want to do is thread on your atomizer. I have this little Alliance Tech Flav 24 Evo that I've been using on it, and it just threads on like that. And then you do this guy right here, take off the switch, and I've been using these batteries right here, and these are also recommended by Mooch. Make sure you check out the Mooch page for more battery information. If you wanted to use this thing with a 2350, this little adapter comes out. It has a little O-ring on there which keeps it in place nicely, which is great. But if you wanted to use it with a bigger battery, you could do so by removing this little adapter section right there. So we're just going to pop that back in, because it adds an extra layer of safety as well, which is why I really like it. So battery goes in positive up like that, and switch goes on, and there you go. That's pretty much it. This is the Notion all fully set up and ready to go. And that's pretty much all I've got for you guys in this little close-up section. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-ups. Now let's talk about my opinions about this device, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Starting with the good, this thing is going to be great for the avid mouth-to-lung vapor. Now, this is someone that's already into building coils. This is someone that's well beyond pod systems and wants a really nice, compact mouth-to-lung experience without the whole bother of chipsets and all that stuff getting in the way. This is raw power straight from a single 18350 or 2350 battery, whichever one you have, and there are a few good variants out there on the market nowadays. So with that, for someone that's looking for something like this, this is going to be great. Now, it's not going to be for everyone. In fact, it's not really so much for me, but I have been enjoying using this thing over the past few weeks, and especially with my sort of twist on things, I've been using it as a dripping mod rather than a tank mod, so I feel like I changed it up a little bit and suited it to my needs. The other really good thing about this thing is that it has a constant contact firing button, which is going to also work on your Dreamer mod, so if you're already a Dreamer owner and you just want a constant contact button, then you can get one of these things and it's going to come with it. So kind of two birds, one stone in that aspect. You have a really great little stealthy mouth to lung rig, and you have a constant contact switch for your Dreamer. And finally, this thing fits not only 24mm atomizers, but also 22, really nice and flush because it has these beauty rings that come with it. It makes for a really stylish look and really sleek design overall. I love the angles on this thing. It's very simple, but very beautiful and elegant at the same time. Right now, I've got a 24mm RDA on here, and I think it looks as good as anything else. All right, so let's talk about the bad. Now, with this device here, you have to be extremely careful with your builds. This is going to be for people that really know Ohm's Law well, really know their coils and their wraps and their wire and all that stuff, and it takes a very, very specific build. You don't really want to go below 1 ohm, especially for the amp limits of your batteries. You got to know your battery limits. You got to know all the safety factors that are going into it before you even consider purchasing this thing. So it's not going to be for everybody. Stan made this basically for himself and a very small margin of people out there. It's kind of a niche within a niche, and I gotta say, it's not going to be for everybody. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of is how tiny it is. Now, I realize that it's meant to be tiny, but personally, I have fairly large hands, and with this guy here, it's kind of difficult for me not to cover my airflow while still holding it comfortably. It kind of has that kind of claw grip to it, and personally, I'm not a big fan. Obviously, everyone's different. Some people might not mind this, some people might hit it differently than me, but personally, I just find that I have a very uncomfortable time gripping onto this thing and firing it without covering my airflow. And moving on to the ugly, this thing is copper and I have to polish it pretty much daily. Thank you, Stan, once again for sending those swipes rags, because without them, I would have probably never even touched this thing in the first place, because personally, I'm not the biggest copper fan in the world. Definitely would have preferred a stainless, and I understand that he only has so many to give out to his reviewer buddies, but with that, copper is a softer material. It's going to scratch a little bit easier, and yes, it's going to hit harder, but there's only so much you can get out of a single 18350 or 2350 battery. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for review? As far as myself personally, I'm going to have to say no to this one. It's just not really my thing, and with that, I can't see myself getting a whole lot of use out of it. But as far as a recommendation for you guys, if you're looking for a specific product just like this, then yeah, definitely give it a look. It's only 45 bucks, and you get a constant contact switch for your Dreamer if you're already a Dreamer owner. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you guys check it out. But I will say that know your Ohm's Law, know your battery limits, and be very, very safe, because this thing only operates in a certain parameter, and if you want to get a really good hit out of it and stay safe, then make sure you know what you're doing. But in any case, guys, if you want to pick one of these up for yourself, I'll have a link on my website. Link to that is right down there in the description below. Make sure you guys check that out. But that about does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Leave your comments down in the box below and check out the links I've got down there in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.